Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I hope you're enjoying your day so far, and I'm so grateful to have all of you here joining me today. So, we're going to move into a summer solstice meditation. I was really inspired by the summer solstice that we just had. The summer solstice is the longest day of the year. It's when the sun travels across and creates the most daylight. And so with the summer, I started reflecting on what it really means to me. And I started thinking about barbecues and the sunshine and how warm the weather is. And the summer to me really has a different energy. There's so much warmth and light to it. The days are longer. I often spend much more time outside. And I think that's true for many people. I think we often spend much more time outside in the summer. And as human beings, we are really so affected and connected to the seasons. Just as the seasons change, so do the seasons of our lives. And so as we move into this summer season, we may be experiencing a shift or change or some sort of warmth or lightness in our own way. And so with that, I would like to read a quote by William Carlos Williams. And the quote is, "In summer, the song sings itself." And so with that, I would like you to find a comfortable seat, whatever that might mean for you in this particular moment. And just allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze. Tuning inward and tuning into the body. Sensing into the soles of the feet. Maybe noticing where the feet are making contact with the floor. Perhaps feeling connected and rooted and grounded into the earth beneath you. And then moving up and into the sits bones as we settle into this posture. And maybe noticing the sits bones resting on the seat beneath you. Maybe feeling supported or held in some way. And perhaps finding comfort in that. And then maybe finding a little extra length in the spine, reaching through the crown of the head if that feels right. Perhaps inviting a softening in the face. Maybe softening the forehead or slackening the jaw. Just doing any other subtle movements that you might need to settle into this seated posture. This posture of dignity and stability. This seat that's upright but not uptight. And as you continue to settle, perhaps you become aware of the fact that the body is breathing. And just gently resting the awareness on the breath. No need to change or manipulate the breath in any way. Just staying with the natural breath cycle. Following the rhythm of the breath, breath by breath and moment by moment. Doing the best that you can to follow each and every breath cycle. And we're going to take a little trip in the mind's eye today. And so calling to mind the most beautiful beach that you've ever seen or been to or can imagine. And holding this beach now in the mind's eye. And then allowing yourself to be at this beach, the sand between the toes, the sunshine on the face. As you look around on this beautiful beach, you notice the white sands, maybe the aqua blue water, and you notice that you're the only person on this entire beach. You have this beach all to yourself. Maybe there's some delight or joy that can be felt in that. And as you begin to walk down the beach, taking in the majesty and gorgeous scenery that surrounds you, you notice that the weather is just perfect. It's the perfect day to be outside at the beach. As you continue walking, you notice a warm breeze on the skin. Just sensing that warm breeze as it kisses the exposed skin. Perhaps you notice a salty mist that caresses your face. Maybe finding some delight in that or feeling a sense of being refreshed. And as this air hits the face, you notice the salty smell of the seawater. Maybe taking a deep breath in of that ocean air. And perhaps it's invigorating in some way. Continuing to walk down this beach, you begin to notice the soft, warm sand between the toes. You become aware of the sounds of the ocean waves, the rise and fall of the tide, the crashing waves making their way onto the shore. Maybe being soothed by the sound. And as you continue to leisurely stroll down the beach, you notice a colorful chair off in the distance. And so you decide to make your way there. And as you approach this chair, you realize that it's nestled in the most perfect spot on the beach. A peaceful, serene place just for you. And you decide to take a rest for a moment, sitting down on this chair, perhaps reclining on the chair. And as you do, you notice the light of the sun just hitting your face. You really sense into this light. And you allow this light to enter the body, embracing this light in the face, and then sensing the light down the neck, the shoulders, the upper body, the arms, torso, hips, lower legs, and feet. Just feeling this light, this bright, radiant light in every corner and every inch of your body. And now sensing into the heart space. And if it feels right, perhaps bringing this white, warm, glowing light into the heart. Just doing the best that you can to hold the light here. And now perhaps tapping into your own internal light, the light that is yours and yours alone, the light that is your gift, the gift that you share with the world. And as this light penetrates the heart, perhaps you sense into a warmth that can be felt. And maybe allowing this warmth that can be felt in the heart to radiate out to the entirety of the body. Perhaps sensing a warmth that can be felt from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Sensing into your own internal warmth, the warm parts of who you are, the part that offers kindness and compassion to both yourself and to others. And now, laying on this lounge chair still, you decide to look up and notice two seagulls flying in the air above you. You hear their cries from a distance, their echoing sounds bouncing off of the ocean water. And you notice how free and playful they seem. And perhaps sensing into this feeling of freedom. Maybe sensing into an inner freedom that can be felt within yourself. And continuing to look above at the sky, noticing billowing white puffy clouds slowly pass. Perhaps sensing into how light and airy these clouds are. And again, perhaps internalizing this sense of lightness that the clouds represent. Perhaps being able to feel a lightness within yourself, within your own body. And now you decide to make your way off of your chair, walking down toward the water. Again, noticing that soft, warm sand between the toes. Maybe noticing that as you get closer to the water, the sand becomes firmer and cooler to the touch. And then making your way to the edge of the ocean, allowing the soles of the feet and the ankles to be lapped with the warm water. Perhaps feeling refreshed by the water that can be felt on the feet. And as you stand at the water's edge, you begin to notice something floating before you. And so you decide to take a closer look. And upon doing so, you realize that it's a bottle with a message in it. And so you reach down and pick up this bottle, take out the piece of paper and unroll this paper to find a message. And it's a message that's just for you. What is it that you need to hear right now? And whatever that is what the message is. It's words of wisdom that are just for you. And taking a moment with this message, perhaps allowing the words to settle. And then you continue to look in the water and notice your own reflection in the water. Your reflection moving and shifting shape as the water moves. And then taking another moment to tune inward and reflect on the meaning behind the message you received. Perhaps there's some sort of significance. And then looking out to the horizon. And as you do so, you begin to notice that the day has quickly escaped. The sun is beginning to set, and the skies are filled with vibrant colors of reds, oranges, purples. The sun, which looks like a great big ball of fire, is making its way down the horizon. And taking a moment to notice the majesty, the beauty of the sunset. Perhaps finding some joy or delight in this masterpiece of nature that's just before your eyes. And then looking at the water once more, noticing the natural rhythm of the waves. And perhaps recognizing that the natural rhythm of the waves is similar to the natural rhythm of our very own breath. And with that, tuning into the natural rhythm of your own breath cycle, riding the waves of your breath. Surfing the waves of your breath, breath by breath and moment by moment. Just staying with the breath as best you can. Following each breath all the way to the end. Perhaps noticing how each exhalation naturally segues into the next breath cycle. And if the mind has wandered away, which at some point it surely will, just coming back to the breath once again, knowing that each moment is an opportunity to begin again. Continuing to stay with the breath. Perhaps sensing into the internal rocking motion that the breath creates within the body. And I'm going to read a poem by Russell Comstock. In the body lives an ocean, open into the sea of sensations. With breath coming and going, waves rise and fall. Currents of awareness surface from depths. Find nourishment for the soul. Thoughts scatter across the wild mind, shells on a tidal flat. These shells sweep away with wave of breath. Encrusted, the mind clings to identity as barnacles bind to host. Release into stillness in fathoms deep. Bright air fills lungs with oxygen of teeming life. Breathe in the salty source. Amid changing sands of circumstance, dune grass holds fast. Embrace the simple sense of place. Embrace this simple sense of place. And just taking a few more breaths. Maybe allowing these words to settle if they resonate. Maybe sensing into your own internal ocean once again, one last time. And when you're ready, gently beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Gently bringing awareness back into the group, allowing the eyes to flutter open if they've been closed. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me this evening and for creating this wonderful sense of community. I want you to know how much I truly appreciate it. And I wanted to leave the last few minutes in case anybody wanted to share, just say hello. So there's an invitation. You're certainly welcome if it feels right. And if that's the case, just please feel free to unmute yourself and say whatever you would like to say.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Bill.
That was lovely. Thank you very much. Just what was needed at the end of a long, stressful day.
I'm so glad to hear it. Thank you for joining. It was nice to have you here.
I'm happy I did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
That was magnificent and just what I needed in lieu of going to the real beach. It was so vivid and real. And I felt myself tipping my head. I'm sure it looked quite funny. I felt myself tipping my head up towards the sky to soak in the sun. So thank you. That was really wonderful.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you all so much again, and I really hope to see you sometime soon. Take care, be well, and I hope you enjoy some of the beautiful sunshine that's outside. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.